is your philosophy of recruiting? Sometimes obviously assistant coaches have a certain area, California or Texas, whatever. What is your philosophy on recruiting, and why you would have maybe, I don't know how many assistants are responsible for different parts of California, but what's your philosophy?
We have nine of our guys are on the road, and it starts off initially with them responsible for an area, really from the Mississippi west. And then anything on the other side of the Mississippi is done by position. But once we really identify kids in our area and make decisions on who we're going to recruit, then the position coach takes that kid over. So if there was an offensive lineman in Southern California that may have been in Don Pelham, our linebacker coach's area, he would probably make the first contact. Really not contact, because that's a word in the NCAA you can't do until they're senior year. But he'd say that, hey, there's a kid down here. He'd be the guy that gets the tape, gets the transcript. We would evaluate him and think and make the decision on whether he's a guy we really need to look at. And then Steve Grape would go see the kid because he's our offensive line coach, and he'll know exactly what he wants as he fits in. So every coach has an area, and then once we identify the players in that area, then the individual position coach take over.
Question?
Hi, Rachel McDonald with KLCC. I was just wondering if there's anything you're doing differently after the WSU game to prevent the kind of injuries that we saw with players like Kenyon Warner.
No, that's football. He got hit when he was carrying the ball. And it was an unfortunate play. I don't think the player from Washington State intended to, do that. He actually kind of got blocked into him. But that's what happens in this game, and it's unfortunate. But I don't think there's anything. When you go back and look at the tape to say, hey, we could have prevented this by this happening. And I know the young man from Washington State called Kenyon the next day, told me he was sorry. He didn't mean it. And it happens. It was a legitimate. It was a clean hit. But it happened. So.
Jared?
Coach, what is there about the pistol that makes it difficult? Why do teams go to? What's the advantage of that type of offense?
There's a lot. There's pluses and minuses. I guess it depends on what your thought process is. And what is success and not success. I know Nevada's really successful because Colin Kaepernick is really, really good. I've run the spread offense, and we haven't had a lot of really good personnel. We haven't been very good at it. And I've run the spread offense with Dennis Dixon, Jonathan Stewart. We're really good at it. So the bottom line is, if you got good players, it really doesn't matter what your scheme is. It matters, do you have good players? And your job as a coach is try to put them in a position where they can make plays and get out of their way. So I don't think there's one offense. There's pluses to the back being able to come downhill, but then you can argue he can't get outside as fast. Every offense has a strength. Every offense has a weakness. It really just depends what fits for your guys.
Kind of interesting to see Alabama running it with a less mobile quarterback. Not trying to take any shots at McElroy.
But they don't run the pistol.
Not very often, but they do get into it.
But they don't. If you watch Alabama play, they just line their running back up behind the quarterback, so they're not running the same plays that Colin Kaepernick runs in Nevada. The only thing you can say is basically the tailback at Alabama is behind the quarterback, but does that make it a pistol offense? No.
Well, it's the same formation. They're just not doing the same thing.
Yeah, and it would be arguing that what we do offensively and what Mike Leach does offensively is the same thing because we're both spread. Well, he spreads everybody else and throws it every down, and we spread everybody else and try to be balanced. So I think everybody tries to say, well, if the guy's behind the quarterback, they're running the pistol. Well, are they exactly running what Nevada does, which is a lot of design quarterback runs because they have a great quarterback, and Chris Ault does a great job of scheming it up. UCLA is running what Nevada runs. What Alabama, in the little that I've seen, and I've only caught a couple, we'll see a highlight or whatever, they're basically just, instead of Greg McElroy being underneath the center and bringing the ball back to the tailback, they're putting them at 4 yards and handing it that way. So, we've run it. We'll line our back up behind the quarterback, but we're not running pistol. There's a reason why people do that. If people want to blitz the back, well, where does the blitz come back when the back lines up exactly in the middle? Is the blitz coming from the right or coming from the left? Well, I don't know. The back's in the middle, and it can confuse some people. So I think just because the back lines up behind the quarterback, it's not. It could. I guess you could technically say it's a pistol, but it's not the scheme. The same thing goes with the spread. When people call spread, like I said, some people are going to throw it 65 times, and not run any zone read out of it, and then other people are going to run zone read out of it. So.
Any more questions? We all answered? Len, let's go back to the phones one more time. Do you have any more questions waiting? Remember to please press *1.
And you have a question for the line of Scott Reed.
Chip, can you give me satisfaction in kind of showing, well, people where you guys off with the problems over the winter, do you give me satisfaction kind of showing, you proving them wrong?
No. I mean, I've said all along, we don't coach our program or run our program based on outside influences. So, you know, for me to say yes, I do, then I would be contradictory to everything I believe in. So, people can formulate their opinion on what's gone on here in the past and what has gone on here right now. They're entirely up to them. That's they can do that. So that's fine. But we don't go out every day and try to do something to say, hey, look what we did. You know, we're just trying to do what we're supposed to do. And I think our guys are doing that right now.
And there are no further audio questions.
Okay, we'll wrap this up shortly. Steve, you have a question?
If you rule Kenny out on Thursday,
I haven't ruled anybody out. We don't do that on Thursday.
if Anthony can't play, who's the starter?
I don't know. We don't do that today.
So we have to wait till Thursday.
We'll have to wait till the day before the game, like we've done every game since we've been here.
The reason I ask is because we've seen Cliff take most of the first team snaps, still not on too deep. So what's the reason for that?
I don't make out the 2 deep. When do I make out the 2 deep, Dave? You asked me, literally, I walk in from the March to Victory, I walk through that door and Dave stands there and says, is this correct or not correct? So if you want to correct 2 deep, you'll get it on game day at about an hour and 20 minutes before we kick off. Because that's when he gets it. Because I don't know. What happens if a kid going home to class right now gets in a bike accident? Well, then did I make a mistake because he was in the 2 deep on Thursday? No. You'll know who's playing. And when we kick it off, if the kid's starting, then write him down as a starter.
Any more questions? That covers it. Thank you.